Hey everybody, pardon me, Cynthia here. I'm getting ready to package up my pocket letter to send out. So Irene, if you're watching, you may not want to continue because I'm sharing this again really quick. But anyway, I noticed that when the pocket letters were designed, they were designed to fit into those envelopes. And knowing us as the crafters we are, we love to stuff our pockets. This is pretty bulky, but not extremely bulky. So it could fit in an envelope, but like I made a charm over here, and I added this banner to it, and I really didn't want to get it smashed into the envelope. I saw a lot of people just tying with lace, but then I thought this banner might get caught in the lace once it's opened, so I didn't want to do that. Then I also saw belly bands, which I think is a fantastic idea, but I thought when they pull the belly band off, the banner might get pulled with it. So I decided to just create a box. I thought, I'm gonna make my pocket letters bulky. I know they're supposed to fit into envelopes, but I love to create things and stuff them with goodies. So I actually came up with 2 different sizes. And since you see this one's not extremely bulky like a lot of them can be, so I made a box that measures 9 by 4 by 1 inch high. And this one fits perfect in there, and it even gives you room on the side to fit your charm. Okay? Not too bulky, the lid fits on nice and snug, and it's ready to be sent. But for those pocket letters that are a lot bulkier, I made this one. This one measures 9 by 4 by 1.5 inches high. So that way, if you really are stuffing your pocket letters, you can go with these dimensions. If it's not too bulky, but you want to keep it protected when you send it, you can go with these dimensions. Okay, I kept mine really simple. I just used Studio G chipboard sentiment. Thought the paper was really pretty in itself, so I just added a few sequins, a little bit of washi tape, and then instead of putting paper around the bottom of my box, I ended up putting washi tape all the way around. So it's another good way to get your washi tape out and start using it up. That way it wasn't too bulky, that my lid fit on nice and snug. If you're going to cover them, the bottoms of the boxes or the sides with paper, you may want to go 1/16 of an inch larger on your lid, and I'll explain that when I give you all the measurements. This one, the same thing. I haven't finished decorating the top, but I punched out a bunch of hearts from the scraps I had left over on the sides and used sequins, and then I used this really pretty lace border type washi tape all the way around. I did put paper on the bottom, and I put paper on the inside of the bottom to make it sturdier, but that's pretty much all I did. I wanted to keep this pretty simple, but also match with the pocket letter I'm doing. So I used the same papers I used in here, I used for my box, and that way they could coordinate. I'm going to give you the measurements for this size at the end, but I need to make another box this size, so that's the tutorial I'm doing it on at the moment. So this box, like I said, measures 9 by 4 by 1.5 inches high. So you want to start off with a paper that measures 12 inches by 7. And you're going to line it up on your scoreboard, and you are going to score at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. Okay, now once you've done that, fold up on your score lines. I just thought it was a cute way to, if you're not sending them out in the mail by themselves, like I'm sending this in a box in a rack, so I figured it would be kind of cute to make a little gift box for it, and also they could use the gift box, they could reuse it, you know, later on once they take their pocket letter out. And use it for storage or re-gift it to somebody else. So what you're going to want to do is, you see this little square here, you're going to want to cut up your first score line to meet this score line. Just don't cut over it. Okay? You're going to do that to all 4 sides. So cut up the score line, and then I usually take a little tiny bit off of that square at an angle so that when I fold my box up, the top part will be flush with the other side. So you should have 2 little flaps here. You want to turn it around, and you want to cut up both these score lines again. Cut up to meet that next score line, but don't go over. And then I usually just cut a little bit into that little flap there. Same thing, cut straight up to meet that next score line, and then I cut a little bit of an angle. Okay? Now to put the box together, this is the bottom part. All you're going to need to do is add some adhesive to the inside flaps. Line them up, fold it over, line them up, and hold. Same thing with this side, line it up, and hold. I've seen a lot of pocket letters out there that are really, really bulky, and I thought, and they're putting, you know, we tend to add a lot of things to the outsides of the pockets, so I thought, why not make a box? You know, it'll protect it, and then that's another way to present your pocket letter to your friend as a gift. Especially if you're doing swaps, it might be fun, you know, to do a little extra and make another box. And if you make this bigger box and your pocket letter's not as bulky, maybe you can add a few more goodies into it as well. You know, it's all up to you. Okay, so now this is the bottom of our box. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to get the piece out for the lid. The lid dimensions are 11 by 1/16 of an inch and 6 by 1/16 of an inch. You're going to line it up on your scoreboard and score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Now, if you want, this is if you're just going to leave the side of your box on the bottom plain. If you're going to want to cover it with a heavier cardstock like paper, you're going to want to make your lid a little bit bigger, because this lid for this box fits nice and snug. Okay, so score 1 inch on all 4 sides. Before I cut that, I would measure, if you're gonna cover these with paper, make your lid 11 by 1/8 of an inch by 6 1/8 of an inch. So 11 1/8 by 6 1/8. You still score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. That's just gonna make your lid a 1/16 of an inch wider and a 1/16 of an inch longer, so that when you put a heavy paper on this side, it's going to fit nice and it won't be too tight. Okay? I'm going to cut up on this. Oh, fold my score lines. I'm getting ahead of myself here, guys. Sorry. Fold them all up. And then we're going to do the same thing to the top as we did to the bottom. You're going to cut up on your score line and meet the next one. And then just cut a little angle to it, so that when you glue that together, they will be flush with the top. You won't have anything sticking over. Same thing on the other side. Okay. And as soon as I'm done putting this together, I will give you dimensions for the other box, and you will put it together the same way we're doing this one. Fold your flaps in, add a little bit of adhesive, line them up, and just hold that there a minute to dry. Same thing on this side. Line it up. And we have these two flaps to go. Okay, so as you can see, the lid fits nice and snug on the box. You could, if you had really thin paper, you could cover it with thin paper and use these dimensions, but if you're going to use a heavier cardstock, I would go with a 1/16 of an inch larger like I had stated. If you want to cover the top, the dimensions I used for the mat was, the lid mat was 9 by 4, so 9 by 4, and then the insides of the box was 8 and 15/16 of an inch and 3 and 15/16 of an inch. And all that basically did was give me a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around on the inside, and you'll do the same measurement for the bottom. 8 by 15/16 and 3 by 15/16 of an inch. Okay? Or if you want an 1/8 of an inch border, you would do 8 and 7/8 inch by 3 and 7/8 inch. Okay, so that was the tutorial for the 1.5 inch. Now if you want to do the 9 by 4 by 1 inch high, for the bottom of your box, you're going to want to start off with a paper measuring 11 by 6, and you're going to want to score that at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then for your lid, you're going to want to start off with a paper measuring 10 and 1/16 of an inch by 5 and 1/16 of an inch. And you're going to score at a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And you're just going to put it together like we did this box here. Okay? If you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope this helped, and I am going to be shipping this off, so I wanted to stop what I was doing and share it with you. And have fun creating yours if you do. Take care and enjoy your weekend.